What's good, Grey Gang? Okay, so right now I've got the orange on, I've got the rifle, but it's actually the last day of rifle season. Now today I am still getting in a tree stand and going up in a tree. However, today we're doing a few things different. The main thing that's different, instead of a ladder stand, we got this here Summit climbing stand. And we're also doing another thing different. With it being the time around the rut, we're actually using some of this code blue right here, and you know, let me show you how we're going to use it. We're going to be using this little tool right here. Now what this is you may look at it and say, well buddy, that's just a cat toy. Maybe, but not completely. What this tool is called, this is called a drag. And what you do is it just, you know, it hangs down behind you. You clip this clip right here to your boots. But what you do with this tip is you actually dip it down in here in the code blue. And this is deer scent. This is like a hot doe pea in estrus. So basically this right here smells like a hot doe. And as I walk to the stand, I'll drag this little thing behind me and it'll let off scent as I walk. Now what that's gonna do is if a buck that is in full rut trying to find a doe, if he's looking and he's smelling and then he crosses my path and he gets the whiff of that hot doe in estrus, what that's actually gonna do, and that's what makes the rut such a magical time, is he's gonna look, he is gonna follow in a beeline the exact track I made to get in the tree. He's gonna come in sniffing, looking for the hot doe, which to be completely honest, hate to break it to him, but there is no hot doe. It's actually just a glass bottle about 2 inches tall. But that's good for hunters because that's when we lay the smack down on them and bust him one good time. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and dip these in here and let it be, you know, smelling. Now see, all I'm gonna do is just, you know, get one of these things, dip it in right there, 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 dip it in right there. And that way, everywhere I walk, a little bit of the scent is, you know, gonna drip off on the leaves. And that way, I'll be leaving a trail of a hot doe straight to my tree stand. I'm just gonna bend down here and clip it to my boot, and we should be good to go. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Carrying this tree stand on my back, it's a pretty good workout, I'll just say that. But as I'm walking to my stand, that little drag right there, see the little orange thing? It just walks right behind me and puts out scent as I walk to the stand. Okay guys, and like I said, I'm in a climbing tree stand. So right now, I have to make my way up the tree. So, here we go, I guess. It's always better to go slow and be careful then get up there fast and careless. That's a fact, okay? That's just a fact. Okay guys, well I'm up in the tree now. I did not die on the way up here, so that's a good thing. I'm actually looking down about right there. It looks like maybe a buck tried to make a scrape right there last night. I mean, it's definitely fresh. It wasn't there yesterday. But what really trips me up is because there was no like trees above it that maybe he could knock his antlers on. Like, because usually whenever a deer's gonna make a scrape, he'll do it where there's like some overhanging branches because he'll jump up and try to nick them. The reason he gets his antlers and plays around with the branches above is because they actually have glands right up here between their antlers and they get the scent off their glands onto the tree. That way, you know, a hot doe can smell the scent off these glands. That way she'll know where to come to the scrape. But the thing about that scrape is that there's no overhanging branches. And I mean, on the way in here, I looked at it and it did look like it was deer prints, but so maybe a deer done that last night. Maybe a squirrel done it that has hooves, but I don't know. But there's deer prints in it and it looks just like a scrape. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna wait here, be quiet. If maybe a doe or a small spike or something walks out here, I'll get the camera and show you. But if Bucky or a really nice deer walks out, game over. I'm busting. I'm gonna put a .243 caliber bullet right through his lungs. But besides that, I'm gonna be quiet and I'll see y'all later. Okay people, at this moment as you're watching this, I'm still up there in the woods, but I'm just gonna do like sort of a voiceover, except I'm just gonna straight up tell you how it is. So at this point in time, you know, I'm up in the stand just sitting there waiting, and then here he comes, okay? It's a spike. Nothing amazingly awesome about this spike, but he's a tall spike. All the spikes I saw on camera, they were like, you know, 3 inches tall, 4 inches tall, something like that. No, this deer, bro, look at him. He's 6, 7 inches tall. That was Spiky that we named. You remember the tall spike? This was him. This was the tall spike right here. Honestly, at this point, I was thinking, do I shoot this guy? But then I decided, not right now, okay? Maybe later in the season, but not right now with the gun. And so then this is one of the things that like actually taught me something today. I was watching him, you know, pretty focused in on him. He was sitting there eating the wheat meal, and he turned up and went. And so, you know, I figured like, hey, maybe he spotted a big buck on the other side of the mountain. So I turned my head and looked and, you know, boom, there she was. It was just a doe, you know, nothing giant, but it was a doe, okay, which is pretty awesome. Because now it's the rut, and we have a buck, and we have a doe. So, you know, Spiky, he just sit there, he kept eating the corn. That doe actually came directly under the tree. Under the tree, listen to this. But guys, I was 27 to 28, 30 foot up my tree. She looked up, but she could not look up high enough. Because literally, if she wanted to see me, she would have to break her neck to see me. And whenever you get that high in the tree, that's why I like that climbing stand. I mean, I've only used it a few times, but that's why I like it, is because you can get so high that the deer can't look at you. Like, it sounds insane, but like the deer literally can't look at you without breaking their spinal cord. And so, you know, there was the doe. She was making her way over to the corn and wheat mill. You know, she wanted a little bit. She was hungry. She was gonna head over there and get it. But, you know, that's when Spiky decided he was gonna do his thing. And that was the first buck chase a doe I saw all year. And, you know, there they went. Just, you know, chasing a doe, just like deer do nowadays. And only about 3 minutes after Spiky and that doe headed out of there, there was another spike made a beeline towards the corn pile. However, you know, this one, he was only 3 inches tall, and I don't know why, maybe he smelt the other buck, but he just decided not to eat corn today. And so then that small spike completely left my side of view. Well, about 10 minutes passed, and at this rate, 10 minutes was like a lot of light that was gone. So he actually came in behind me, and I'm telling you what, I thought his ears was his antlers, son. I thought this was a good one. So I got up, I got my gun, I was on him, son. I had my crosshairs on his shoulder, and then I realized that was the same dang spike I saw earlier. Needless to say, I didn't shoot him. And so then that little spike, like, he actually did. He came all the way around my tree, all the way back this side, and actually ended up going to the corn pile at the end of the day anyhow. But, you know, as that little spike, you know, just had a field day over there in the wheat mill, I was still in the tree stand, and it was dark, it was cold, and I mean, boy, get out of here. Let me go home and eat my KFC. And then, literally, out of nowhere, this gigantic deer, I'm telling you, he was bigger than my house. I'm telling you guys, this was the biggest bodied deer I have ever seen in my life. But as he was coming in, I couldn't, you know, it was really dark, so I couldn't tell his horns or anything. But one thing I did see as he was coming in, let's say this was a tree. He was trotting through here, he went, and at that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, it is time. All these hunts, I have been waiting. I've been passing up deer for this moment. Here he is. I was shaking, guys. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was shaking, guys. I pulled my gun up. I got on. I was like, oh my gosh, it's time. My patience is paid off. I got him in my scope, and he was a spike. I was like, what in the world are those two little knobs doing on that gigantic deer? Like, I ain't even kidding, guys. The body, it was so massive. Like, you could like tell the little shapes of his muscles. I was thinking, this is a deer in his prime, and he just walked up to my wheat meal pile. And then that moment, whenever I found out he was a 4-inch spike, I honestly didn't even know if I was Kendall Gray anymore. Like, it shocked me. But at that moment, I made a decision. Now that gun season is over and has passed, now that I can no longer make a 100-yard shot to kill a deer, it was at that moment when I decided if I saw that 6-7-inch spike or bigger, I would shoot him with my bow. Now I know I've waited all year, you know, I've passed up spikes, I've even passed up pretty good 6-pointers. Just waiting for a good deer, waiting on Bucky, waiting for something really good. But it was at that moment whenever I realized, y'all want me to kill a dang deer, don't ya? Like, I've been looking through the comments and y'all are like, kill a dang deer or I'm unsubscribing. Like, y'all are eat up for me to kill a deer. Which, believe it or not, that actually leads directly into this week's verse of the week. This week's verse is Romans 12:12. Let your hope keep you joyful. Be patient in your troubles and pray at all times. Now, there's a key word in there that I really want to talk about, and it's patient. In the verse, it said, keep patient in your troubles. And if you want to relate it to me, we can say that my troubles is killing a deer. So all season, I've been hunting probably at least 35 times. But just keep in mind that I didn't show y'all every single hunt I went on, just because, you know, sometimes watching does eat grass can get a little boring. But I've been hunting probably 35 times, and I've honestly passed up a lot of does. I passed up a lot of spikes, and even some fairly decent bucks, in hope that a good one would come out sooner than later. Now, has a big one came out yet? No. Basically, the reason that I've not killed a deer yet is because I'm a firm believer that patience pays off. And if I kill a deer, I at least want to feel like I put the time in on it. If I went out there the opening day of season and just shot a spike with 1 hour maybe in the stand, I wouldn't feel as good as if I put in countless hours. I hunted all season and finally got that one buck. That one buck, it would mean so much more than if I went out opening day and shot a spike in an hour. And in all honesty, I was just practicing patience. So if there's anything in your life that, you know, you're really waiting on and you can't wait for it to come and you just don't know where it is, and you're just looking all around, you can't find it, just slow down a little bit, be patient, and have faith that it'll come. Because believe me whenever I say this, not everything is instant. A lot of things, especially the best things, you're going to have to wait, you're going to have to stay patient, you're going to have to stay calm and collected and give it time. And with patience, good things will happen. Because whenever you wait, not only are you practicing patience, but you're also practicing faith. And you know what they say, the more you practice, the better you get. And come on, who don't want to be better at faith? Everybody does. I just want to remind you real quick that every purchase on KendallGrade1.com/shop in December, a percentage of the proceeds goes straight to a foundation, a charity, made to help children who usually don't get Christmas presents. So whether you buy a pop socket, a Bucky shirt, so no matter what you buy, a percentage of the proceeds goes straight to helping somebody else in need that honestly may be the same age as you. And I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty awesome thing. But anyways, Gray Gang, I'll see you back Monday, same time, 4 o'clock. If you're not part of the Gray Gang, go ahead and subscribe by hitting the button on the top right, and feel free to watch some of my past videos on the left. As always, favorite squad, post it up, down low. If you want some of this sweet merch, head on over to KendallGrade1.com or the link in the description. But besides that, I'll catch you later in tomorrow's video.